Good evening. Welcome to the California Journal for Filipino Americans 22nd Anniversary Awards Dinner. Thank you, Father Thomas, for your solemn invocation. Thank you, Christine and Chensa, for your amazing opening performance. Tonight, let us all celebrate the achievements of our leaders and thank them for the endless hours of service they have shown in so many ways to better the Filipino-American community. Join me in thanking God for our leaders, in particular our awardees, our guests of honors, our speakers, and their countless and great works either in politics, in business, or in civic organizations to the Filipino-American community and the other communities as well. Let us all thank God for the endless wisdom that enables us to face challenges, for resilience that enables us to surpass many adversities in life. This year, we lost two outstanding Filipino-American leaders. Linda Sarno was an awardee in 2013. She passed away in February of this year. Vic Mercado was one of our presenters for several years. He was a former president of the Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce of Los Angeles. Let us pause for a moment to remember Linda and Vic. Let us now welcome a great friend of the Filipino-American community, U.S. Congressman Ed Royce. He is a chairman of the powerful House Foreign Affairs Committee in the United States Congress. Let us also welcome another great leader of the Filipino-American community, U.S. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and her husband, Ambassador Sidney Williams. Congressman Waters is the ranking member of the powerful House Foreign Services Committee in the United States Congress. We also have tonight representing U.S. Congressman Brad Sherman, Aaron Hazari. U.S. Congressman Brad Sherman is a member of the powerful Subcommittee of Asia in the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Also with us, let us welcome California Assembly Member David Hadley. And the very popular Assemblywoman Yang Kim. Yang Kim has been fighting for a lot of issues for the Filipino-American communities. Both Assembly members are in the Banking Committee in the California Legislature. We haven't had Sean Steele yet, okay. Let us also welcome the Mayor of the City of Orticia, Victor Manalo, a proud Filipino-American. Also, let us welcome the former Mayor of the City of Walnut, Tony Cortahena, a proud Filipino. And now, let us all put our hands together and give a round of applause to our 2016 Community Leadership Awards recipients, Emily Wang of East West Bank, also the former Mayor of Claremont, Council Member Cory Kalaykay, a proud Filipino-American. Now I see Sean Steele walking now inside the room. Let us also welcome Sean Steele, a committeeman in the Republican National Committee and the former chairman of the California Republican Party. Before I forget, we welcome the former mayor of the city of Orticia, Victor Manalo. Victor Manalo is also in the advisory committee of Hillary Clinton in the Asia Pacific. Your profound works in our community as well to our communities have made us very proud of you. Congratulations. Keep up your great works so many could emulate on your footsteps. Let us also welcome the major corporations who have been reaching out and serving the Filipino-American community who are here tonight. We have Charter Communications, Union Bank, AT&T, Southern California Edison, and East West Bank. A big thank you to all of you who have been partnering with us in reaching out the Filipino-American community. We hope to have continuous working relationship with all of you. Tonight, we will have the opportunity to listen to the leaders of major corporations regarding the importance of the Filipino-American community and the opportunities of Filipino-Americans in their corporations. We also have here tonight the leaders of the Filipino-American Chambers of Commerce. Please stand up to be recognized, the presidents of the Filipino-American Chambers of Commerce. Also with us tonight are the presidents of the Filipino-American Medical Associations. Thank you for joining us again. Let me now share with you some memories of our late Linda Sarno. Linda was an attorney as well as a civic leader and a community leader who worked on the strategies on how to move and gather evidences on the victims of land grabbers in the Philippines. She was a devoted Catholic, an ideal wife, and also an ideal mother. With us tonight is Linda's husband, Fel Sarno. Please stand up to be recognized, Fel. Where's Fel? Thank you, Fel, for joining us tonight. The day when I received the news that Linda passed, I paused for a moment thinking about how remarkable she was, and I spoke to my wife, Carlene, about how both of us should openly accept that the fact that Linda is with our Creator. That yes, we lost Linda, but remembering that she already had shepherded many Filipino-American leaders so they could continue her work for the betterment of the Filipino-American community, had a smile on both of us. Several years ago, Linda and I joined together to find means to deal with the silent crime called the land grabbing in the Philippines, wherein the fight is between the powerful and the powerless. Linda, as a licensed attorney, shared some strategies we could use to minimize, if not completely stop, the land grabbing in the Philippines. I cannot forget what Linda told me before, that suing the land grabbers in the Philippines is a big joke, since they are so powerful that they could control the entire Philippine government. In our gathering of data, we even found out that a family in the Philippines has a fake title of the whole country, the whole Philippines. Some families and generals and commodores have fake titles owning tens of millions of square meters, even bigger than the entire Los Angeles County. Land grabbing, which has been going on for generations, has been widespread in the Philippines. In October of last year, the Philippine Housing Urban Development Coordinating Council, which is called the HUDC, warned all the Filipinos regarding the land fraud and scams. For the Philippine government, no one should buy any lands from the people who are part of the squatting syndicates. Some of them claiming the entire Philippines, while others are claiming millions of square meters and provinces in the Philippines. You may see the names of the squatting syndicates on page 21 of our latest issue this week. As I mentioned in our previous awards dinner, Congressman Ed Royce has been spearheading the concrete action to help the powerless and voiceless land grabbing victims against the abusive land grabbers in the Philippines. Thank you very much, Congressman Ed Royce, for finding ways to help solve the land grabbing problem. Thank you for saying that the opportunities in the Philippines must be for everyone, not only for the well-connected and powerful individuals. Thank you to Linda for asking Chairman Ed Royce and Assemblywoman Yang Kim to assist us in this problem. Prior to being elected 2 years ago, Assemblywoman Yang Kim worked with Chairman Ed Royce, and she was the one who helped Linda and me to have the chairman be more informed about the land grabbing issue in the Philippines. Both chairman and the Assemblywoman met with several Filipino Americans to hear their complaints. Since then, both of them have tried to find resolutions to the problem. Congressman Ed Royce visited the Philippines twice. He raised the land grabbing issue with President Benigno Aquino and the senior government officials in the Philippines. Although President Aquino and his officials are very eager to help, they were not able to give solid solutions to fight the land grabbing in the Philippines. As I stated in the previous awards dinner, U.S. grants to the Philippines comes from the American taxpayers and has guidelines, rule of law, property rights, among others. Hence, the guidelines need to be followed. But it appears the Philippine government agencies have been neglecting the rule of law and the protection of property rights. And their lack of transparency, good governance, government accountability have been encouraging more land grabbing. Therefore, when and how the land grabbing be stopped is a big question. But with the continuous assistance of Chairman Royce, I have no doubt that the justice for the victims of land grabbers would come soon. In September 2013, a letter addressed to President Obama was signed by Chairman Ed Royce and the Democrat ranking member, Congressman Engel, with the 100 bipartisan members of the United States Congress, letting President Obama know that the land grabbing occurs in the Philippines, that almost $500 million grants to the Philippines comes from the American taxpayers, that the rule of law in the Philippines must be enforced and property rights must be respected. Congresswoman Waters and Congressman Sherman were among the signatories of the said letter to President Obama. Thank you very much. Congresswoman Waters did her own fact-finding in the Filipino-American community and asked about the situation of land grabbing in the Philippines. The Congresswoman heard the complaints too. So like Congressman Royce, she spoke to the Philippine authorities in solving the problem. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Waters. Since the start of the financial crisis up to now, being the ranking member of the House Financial Services Committee, which is responsible for the oversight of our nation's housing market, the financial regulatory agencies, banks, financial institutions, Wall Street, Congresswoman Waters has been helping struggling homeowners save their homes. In the past year, The House Financial Services Committee had experts to do fact-finding about foreclosure fraud. Through their experts, the committee found out some wrongdoings that have been in existence in mortgage securitization. Adam Levitin, a law Georgetown professor, testified in the Financial Services Committee about the irregularities of the mortgage securitization, which have been adversely affecting all of us here in America. The irregularities of mortgage securitization have been engineered by the loan servicers, especially the non-bank loan servicers, that have a grade of C- and below. The grading is determined in terms of how fast they resolve consumer complaints. The irregularities in the mortgage securitization were exposed by attorney Lynn Simoniak, who became the whistleblower. She went to the Securities and Exchange Commission to expose the mortgage securitization fraud and won the case. Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, has been very vocal about this issue as well. In fact, Mr. Thiel exposed the irregularities of mortgage securitization during the Republican National Convention. Also, Senator Bernie Sanders, a Democrat, uncovered this issue from the beginning until the end of his campaign. Most supporters of Senator Sanders are very passionate on this issue. I'm hoping that soon some corrective measures could be done to stop the abuses of non-bank loan servicers in order to make our banks not look very bad. Borrowers have the right to choose their lenders. They can go to any banks of their choice, but once the mortgage loan is sold, the borrowers do not have the right to choose their loan servicer. Banks are usually the one who provide mortgage loans to home buyers, but most of the time, it is the non-bank loan servicers who collects the mortgage payments. And in the event of non-payment of mortgage, it is the non-bank loan servicers who have the lawyers to initiate foreclosures. Therefore, if the non-bank loan servicers make unlawful foreclosures, it could reflect bad to the banks, the regional lenders. Banks have many regulators, so they are very careful on their actions. But the non-bank loan servicers have very few or limited regulators. That is why they are able to do some irregularities, including unlawful foreclosures on properties that are underwater. Properties that are underwater has value less than the unpaid mortgage. Several non-bank loan servicers that have C- are in the watch list and currently being investigated for their abuses and misconducts. But shouldn't the non-bank loan servicers that has a D grade be the priority for investigations, since clearly they have done more abuses to the homeowners? I am hoping that in the future, in the non-bank loan servicers that has D grade, be in the watch list too for their misconducts. So it could be minimized, so the abuses could be minimized or completely stopped. To date, unlawful foreclosure problem is being given massive attention here in the United States, so more struggling homeowners could retain their homes. Thank you very much, Ranking Member Maxine Waters, for your great works to include protecting struggling homeowners from unlawful foreclosures. Last year, a day before the awards dinner, was a historical moment for the Filipino-American community, since United States Representative Matt Salmon, chairman of the Asia Pacific Subcommittee of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, chaired by Congressman Ed Royce, convened a field hearing in the campus of Cal Poly Pomona entitled Property Rights and Development in Southeast Asia to examine land grabbing in Southeast Asia. The hearing was very, very successful with the presence of more than 500 attendees, including the media. To Chairman Royce, thank you for emphasizing during the hearing the importance of protecting property rights since they are essential to stability and growth and improvement of life of Filipinos, Cambodians, and all others in Asia. Thank you very much, Chairman Royce. The congressional hearing became the front page news of the Filipino-American newspapers here in the U.S. Also was carried by the Manila-based newspapers. Few days later, Philippine Senator Miriam Defensor passed a Senate resolution to investigate on fake titles and outdated laws that causes land grabbing. Days later, Philippine Senator Coco Pimentel called for a Senate hearing on land grabbing. Apparently, something is being done about this issue. Unfortunately, though, it has not been resolved. Philippine President Duterte, through his administration, has been cleaning up corruption as well as exerting effort to stop drugs and all criminalities and has promised to stop land grabbing in the Philippines. Having won a historical wide margin, I am really hopeful that President Duterte, through his administration, would be the president who could truly better the lives of the Filipinos and the Filipino Americans, especially the poor, the powerless, to include the land grabbing victims. Congressman Royce has been helping in making Americans, all Americans, safe. He has not only been fighting to stop land grabbing in the Philippines, but also has been fighting for human trafficking victims here in the U.S. With us tonight to thank Congressman Royce, our human trafficking victims, and now what's called the human trafficking survivors. They are here tonight. Glenda Marquez and Ricardo de la Torre, please stand up to be recognized. Glenda and Ricardo are now living safely in the United States. They now own a board and care facility in Palos Verdes. Because of Congressman Ed Royce, they now achieve their American dream. May God continuously bless all our friends in the Filipino-American community, Congressman Ed Royce. How many of you have heard of Rosa Sevilla? Rosa Sevilla de Alvero was an educator, writer, and one of the notable suffragists in Asia who fought for the Filipino women's right to vote. She married Emilio Alvero, a well-known painter at their time. The 1935 Philippine Constitution limited the right of suffrage to male citizens. But in 1937, because of Rosa Sevilla and two other brave women, Filipino women have been granted the right to vote and to be voted in elective offices, which led to the election of women presidents in the Philippines. In the early 1900s, in the Philippines, parents told their daughters that they do not need to go to school because they will get married anyway. Therefore, because they will become full-time mothers, and because of Rosa Sevilla's vision, it became different. It was Sevilla who encouraged the Filipinas to finish college. In fact, Sevilla founded the first Filipino-initiated school, Instituto de Mujeres. Now it's called Rosa Sevilla Memorial School. In the 1900s, as a first school for the Philippine lay women. Being able to finish college, Filipino mothers have played a bigger role in their families. Mothers have become tutors of the family, of their children. Both mothers and fathers then became role models of their children. Sevilla, who became the first woman dean of the University of Santo Tomas, was a staff member of La Independencia, a Filipino revolutionary government official newspaper, which was edited by General Antonio Luna, who later became one of the heroes in the Philippines. Sevilla bought the Luna paintings to help fund the Katipunan movement, which fought against the abuses of the Spaniards in the Philippines. She received Presidential Medal of Merit Award for many services she did for the country and for the Filipinos, and also received the Queen Isabella II of Spain Award. Although Rosa Sevilla was not recognized as a hero, she could be an inspiration to all of us. With us tonight is a fellow Busconian, the president of the Don Bosco alumni, the grandson of Rosa Sevilla, June Alvero. Please stand to be recognized, June. In November, we will be electing a new United States president. Let us vote for a candidate that will be good for our country, the United States of America, and for our community, who will give hope and deliver what he or she would promise to do. Someone who would appoint Asian Americans in his cabinet or in her cabinet, and who will give importance to Asian American issues, in particular Filipino American concerns. Let us hope that the new U.S. President, regardless if it would be Democrat or a Republican White House, could appoint one Filipino American in the cabinet to be a cabinet secretary, who could serve all Americans. Like Rosa Sevilla, let us give importance to our right to vote in political elections. Come November, let us go out and vote and show the power of the Filipino Americans. Let us vote to exercise our freedom of choosing our next leader. If you do not have time to go out and vote, to go to your polling places, just vote via absentee ballot. So your voice would be heard and your vote would be counted. To aid in our decision to who to vote, representatives from both Republican and Democrat Party will present to us tonight information regarding each party's platform. Let us vote for president and government officials that could continue to help America safe. Let us vote for leaders who would lead to a better America so more could attain the American dream. Let us have more elected officials like Congressman Ed Royce. Let us also have more elected officials like Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Also like Congressman Brad Sherman. We need those type of leaders in Washington, D.C. And also in Sacramento, we need more of assembly members like Assemblywoman Yang Kim. And also, we need more of like Assembly Member David Hadley. Let me end by quoting the words of the famous Helen Keller. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. May God bless us all. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless the Philippines. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.